Last Saturday we played a tremendous football team and didn't play as well as we'd like to in a lot of different areas. But at the same time, I thought we stayed together as a team, played hard. I think second half we played maybe a little more confident to some degree, and that's something that we've got to keep working on, and winning helps that. And this week we got a heck of a challenge. Wyoming's done a great job of building his program and his philosophy, and we've got our work cut out for us.
Where we at in terms of injuries and who's out this week?
We're fine. Everybody's in.
Romeo,
Not those two. Well, I mean, you should know that. I would tell you when they come back.
Logan's back.
No, Logan won't be back either.
Al Johnson.
Nope.
Okay.
Hi, Tom.
Let's talk about Brandon. He seemed to be looked like a different guy. He seemed to have more reverse.
Well, yeah, I think he's running, really good vertically. I don't think he's, he's making the one move in there, and his vision. I thought he ran really well with vision a couple of times and really went downhill. And that's what kind of back he is, because he's a decent sized guy, and he can run with some power and take on some safeties in those situations and punish some people.
Is this one of those weeks, Coach, where you expect to see some more strides in your run game?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're trying. I think we made strides last week. So we've got to keep pushing that to the limit, and I think we ran the ball 29 times the last week. And so if we can keep that going and keep some close as we can, being balanced, I think we're better as a team.
Coach, can you talk about defending Carter Samuels?
Well, he's a dual threat, and he's a dual threat. And when he goes back to throw the ball, you don't know where he's going to end up, because when you look at most of his rushing, it comes from him dropping back to pass and doesn't feel comfortable in the pocket for one reason or another. And he's very active with his feet and does a lot of good things.
So to defend that, you just take the linebacker to kind of spy him?
Nah, but we'll do some different things. I mean, you've got to count on your front getting off blocks and doing a good job of, their effort throughout the play.
What's been your take the last few weeks on the defense? It seems like you guys have been giving up yards in chunks more than you had.
Well, we probably have had some bigger plays than we'd like to give up, but, that goes down to a lot of things from, if it's a run, fitting the run correctly and making sure we're getting the ball either bounced out or turned back in. And when you look at the throw game, it starts up front with rushing the passer and doing a good job of beating one-on-one blocks in the pass pro. And we haven't done that very well, and that's something that we got to get better at.
I know that's your area of expertise.
Right.
What have you been saying to the guys the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think we sometimes we lock on a guy instead of really pushing to make another move or whatever it might be, in what we do. I think some of it is we've got to get better burst off the line of scrimmage.
So a lot of people are saying the 2 more wins, bowl eligible, Wyoming, winnable, UNLV, winnable. The guys talking about it?
What about Utah?
Utah, well, I've heard people say Wyoming, winnable, Utah on the road, UNLV, 2 wins there, 6 wins, bowl eligible. You let that go on, do people talk about that?
Well, you guys talk about it more than we do. Our big thing this week is, for us, we're always going to play and coach for our seniors, and our seniors are playing their last home game in their stadium. And, as a guy who played the game and played at the college level, I mean, that's significant, because I can still remember my last home game. So, in the last game you ever played. So, I think that's significant. And when you talk to our seniors, how fast the time went by, whether they're a fifth-year guy or a guy who came from a junior college, it goes fast.
Coach, when you watched the tape of TCU, did it seem like your offensive line played as well as it seemed like in the press box?
I thought they did a nice job. I think a couple things. I think Al had a nice plan. I thought when you looked at some of the split back stuff that we hadn't done before, and the use of Walter and Sully in the backfield at the same time together, and then I thought, Jerry Hughes is a guy you have to contend with, and by turning the protection to him sometimes, I think it helped. By putting a back on him at times, I think that helped. I didn't feel him as much as you maybe expect to feel out there on the field.
Will you be kind of doing the same thing with John Fletcher? He's got 7 sacks.
Yeah, I think we'll have a good plan to make sure that we can do a good job. And the other thing I should have mentioned is, Pete Nelson has really improved over the course of the year, and that's the exciting part. He's a senior. He's a guy who played defense, for the majority of his career, and I really like how his work ethic every day and his leadership and what he's done.
What's been Vincent's role since he's been out? How has it helped your role as being part of the
Well, I think he does a great job of coaching those guys up. He sees things during the game, and he kind of isolates on guys. So I think that in practice, and he's running around and doing some things, keeping himself going too. So, Vince is a great kid, and he cares deeply about his teammates, and it's obvious when you watch him interact with them that that's a mutual respect there, and he's done a really good job for us.
Do you have a new timetable on him? Last it was maybe postseason if that was a possibility.
Oh, I think we're getting closer every day.
How much do the first series, when you guys go out and you got back-to-back penalties, it's happened quite a few times now in your
Yeah.
series. How much does that kind of set you guys back?
Well, I think it always does when you look at the momentum and the peaks and valleys and shifts of a football game, And so, and that's, a little bit of us last week. I thought when you get the 2 consecutive false start penalties, that says a little bit about you. Maybe you're a little tight, maybe you're flinching a little bit. So, that's something that we have to get through. Obviously it'd be nice to take the ball down the field and score in that first series, but we got to keep fighting through it and getting better.
Is that what you chalk it up to? Just maybe some nerves and more?
You shouldn't think that every game. I think at Colorado State, I think a lot of it had to do with the win. And, us not being able to run the ball early enough. But at the same time, I think last week, we just missed the long ball in the first play, from the play action, which is something that we like to do. And, if we hit that ball, it's a whole different story.